In this video, I'll illustrate in detail about the conservative and non-conservative forces. And starting from the conservative forces, I would say that the forces whose work done, whose work done can be understood as the work done by those forces or work done against those forces. So the forces whose work done does not depends on the path followed, and it only depends on the initial and final points are known as conservative forces. Now let me give you an example. For example, this is a block which is taken directly from this point A to B through a simple path, straight line in the y-axis. So the height which we have traveled is h. Now if we analyze the direction of mg acting on the block, then mg would be acting continuously in the downward direction, and hence the work done by mg will be obviously negative, because we are taking this block in the upward direction. Hence the work done will be minus mgh in the first case, and in this second case I am taking the block from this path which is shown in the figure, this one. So this is not a straight line path, but then also the height which I am taking the block is h, and therefore the work done by mg will be directly given as minus mgh. And in this third case, I'm taking the block through this arbitrary path, but the height is still same, which is h. So in this case also, the work done by mg will be equal to minus mgh. So you can see that the work done in all of these three cases is same, and it is not depending on the distance traveled, because the distance traveled in all these three cases is different. In fact, this work done is depending on the displacement of the object, and displacement we all know is the shortest distance between initial and final points. So this work done by mg is depending on the displacement of the block. Now this makes this mg as a conservative force, because the work done by mg is depending on the displacement of the block and not on the path or distance traveled. But if we say that the work done by air friction in this case will be different, because work done here against the air will be different. In this path the work done will be different, and in this path the work done will be different. So the work done by air friction in all these three cases will be different, because that depends on the distance traveled and the path followed, and this makes that air friction as a non-conservative force. But here this mg is a conservative force, and the work done by this force will depend only on the displacement of the body. Now there are some properties of conservative force which we have to learn. That the first one is the examples of these conservative forces: this gravitational force, elastic forces of springs, and in fact this gravitational forces are the one which are acting between any two objects, not only between earth and some other body, but in the gravitational forces which are acting between any two objects of the universe is a conservative force. The elastic forces, the spring force and other forces, electromagnetic forces which has electric forces, electrostatic forces, magnetic forces, and all other fundamental forces of nature are conservative in nature. The central forces are also conservative. Now what do we mean by central forces? By central forces we mean that if there are two objects which are placed like that, and there is a line which is connecting their centers, this one. So the central forces are the forces which are acting along these lines. Either these forces are attractive or they are repulsive. So these are the central forces which are acting along the line which is joining the center of the two bodies. So these central forces, for example, electrostatic force, gravitational force, these are conservative in nature. Now the work done by or against a conservative force depends only on the initial and final position of the object and not on the path followed by it. This point has been discussed already by us on the first page. The fourth one is the work done by or against any conservative force in a round trip is always zero. Now obviously in a round trip, no matter by which path that round trip has been completed, but in a round trip the displacement of the object is zero as its initial and final point is same. Therefore the work done by any conservative force in a round trip will always be zero. Now the work done by a conservative force is completely recoverable. I'll exactly explain this point in my next video as the concept of potential energy, but I can say here that the work done by any conservative force can be reverted back in form of potential energy. Now the work done against any internal conservative force of a system is stored as the potential energy of the system. So the work done against any internal conservative force of a system is stored as a potential energy of the system. I'll also explain this point in detail in my next video, so please stay tuned for that. Now for non-conservative non-conservative forces, I can say that force whose work done depends on the path followed and is different for all the different paths which are going from same initial to same final position are called as non-conservative forces. For example, in this diagram we are taking an object from A to B and we are following these three different paths whose length is also different, and we have observed that the work done by the force which is acting in this diagram is equal for all these three paths. So it means that this force, the work done by this force is not path dependent and it is only depending on the initial and final points. So I can say definitely that this force is conservative in nature. But if these work dones are not equal to each other and these are dependent on the path on which this body has been that body is following, so if these work dones are not equal, then I can say that the force in effect of whose this work done has been done is non-conservative in nature. And the perfect example of friction of non-conservative force is friction force. And we can easily see that if we have to go from point A to B and we are following a shorter path or we are following a longer path, but the final initial points are same, then in the shorter path friction would be acting on us for a short period of time, but in a longer path that friction will be acting for a long period of time, due to which we can feel the difference of heat generated in both the paths, and that heat generated is the work done against friction. So the work done against friction is dependent on the path and not on the displacement. So friction is a non-conservative force, and the viscous forces, which are the forces of fluids, the frictional forces of fluids, for example air friction and friction of water or liquid, are the viscous forces, and these are the example of non-conservative forces. Now as we have already discussed that the work done against any conservative force is stored as a potential energy of the system, but on the contrary note, here the work done against any non-conservative force is dissipated, which is dissipated means lost in the surroundings in form of heat. So when we are traveling on a bike, and we are traveling on any vehicle, then if we drag a chain along with us on a road, then there would be sparking between the chain and the road, and that sparking is the symbol of heat generation between that chain and the road, and that heat is being generated due to the work done against the friction. So the work done against friction is being converted into heat, and it is lost in the surroundings, and hence that heat cannot be reverted back, and it is not recoverable. So that the work done against non-conservative forces is absolutely not recoverable, and we cannot get back that work done. So there is a tabular difference. There is a representation which I am giving you about the conservative and non-conservative forces, which is showing the differences. And the first difference is the work done does not depend on the path for the conservative forces, and for the non-conservative forces that work done depends on the path. For conservative forces, the work done in a round trip is 0, but for non-conservative forces, the work done in a round trip is not 0. And this is a very simple fact that if we are dragging some weight on open ground, and we are again and again completing the rounds of the ground, so when we start from a point and we end up on the same point, then our displacement is 0. But we will lose our energy in dragging that mass around the ground, because we are dragging that mass against the friction, and the work done against friction will not depend on the displacement, which is 0, but it would depend on the perimeter of that ground, round ground, because the work done against friction is the path dependent quantity. This conservative forces are central in nature. I've already told you about central forces, and these non-conservative forces are velocity dependent and retarding in nature. Now the ground friction is not velocity dependent. We have already discussed this in the previous friction chapter, but it is retarding in nature, we know, and the viscous force of liquid fluid is velocity dependent. Now, when only conservative force acts within the system, then the kinetic energy and the potential energy of the system can change. However, their sum is the mechanical energy, and it would not change. So this is the law of conservation of mechanical energy, and I would discuss this law in the next further upcoming videos. But I can summarize that law here, that when only the conservative forces are acting on a system and no external forces are acting on the system, then the total mechanical energy, which is the sum of kinetic energy and potential energy, will remain constant for that system, and it will not change. But if some internal non-conservative forces, which are friction, are acting in that system, then even though there is no external force, we cannot say that the mechanical energy will remain constant, because the internal frictional forces or non-conservative forces will be dissipating the energy of the system in form of heat, which is not recoverable. So the mechanical energy of the system will not be constant. Now the work done against conservative forces is completely recoverable, and it can be recovered in the form of potential energy, and I would discuss this concept in very good detail in the next video, and you just have to wait for that video. And in the non-conservative forces, work done is not completely recoverable, and it is being lost in the form of heat. Now we can recover some amount of the work done by the non-conservative forces, but the 100% recovery of that work done is not possible. So this was the basic definitions and the differences between conservative and non-conservative forces. And in my next video, I would be giving you the best detailed example illustration of the relationship between conservative force and the potential energy. Thank you.